All right, here's what I got. I don't know how well this is gonna come through, but we're gonna try. So, suit or jacket, right? This is all on Dayton.com. So suit or jacket. Suits are a little bit more expensive. This one's 160 bucks basically. Jackets you can get for about 100, right? So plus or minus. 2 bottom boards. Okay, we'll go from the bottom up here. Well, actually, we'll just go from how they're listed. So 2 bottom boards, right? That's the bottom of the hive. They're about, a little over 20 bucks each. So you get 2 of them. So, 45 bucks or whatever, right? 1 tool. Okay, 1 little hive tool. It's just a little pry bar. You could probably source that cheaper if you're trying to cheap out, but these work pretty well. This is accounting for 2 hives, right? So we got 4 boxes, okay? 4 deeps, right? That's gonna be your brood area at the bottom of the hive, okay? Unassembled, the commercial grade boxes are about 20 bucks each. So, 80 bucks for 2 hives, right? Still moving up. This is a good order, actually. We got 2 supers or mediums, whatever you want to call them. There's a whole bunch of different westerns. Some people refer to them as westerns. So these are a little bit shorter. These are 16 bucks each. Okay, this is all 8 frame stuff too. I run 8 frame stuff. Some people have a problem with that. They think, oh, it's the big nukes. Anyway, 10 frame equipment is standard for commercial beekeepers, and a lot of people run 10 frame stuff. It's just heavier. Anyway, there's a couple reasons why you might want to do 10/8 or 8/10. I run 8 frame stuff. So the mediums are $16.25 each, right? So you get 4 of them, 65 bucks. Okay. Now on top of those, so it'll go deep, and then medium, and then on top of that, you're going to have an inner cover. Okay, and this is just kind of helps with ventilation, keeps them in there, whatnot. So 2 inner covers, 1 for each box. Okay, you only need 1 per complete vertical hive. They come assembled. They are a little over 15 bucks, so 30 bucks each, right? 2, I prefer the telescoping. They're called telescoping metal covers. They have a nice sort of metal flashing over the top of them. Anyway, so they are 30 bucks a piece. So 2 of them, so it's 60 bucks. Okay, you have to do some assembly for some of these things. So what goes in the boxes, right? Well, inside we've got deep frames and medium frames. So the deep frames are a little bit taller. The medium frames are a little bit shorter. They're the exact same length. They're both about 19, a little over 19 inches. For 10 pack of each of them, they're $16.25. Okay, so you're gonna get 2 each. Each one holds about 8 frames. So you probably could get away with 4 of each of these, and that would give you sort of 2 extra per box. I think it's better to have more frames on hand. There's a few reasons why you might want to pull something and swap it out, or if you're going to pull honey. Yeah, there's a whole bunch of reasons why I think maybe you want to get a few more frames than you have room in your boxes for. So 5 pack each of those comes out to $81.25 for each of the frames. That's like a little over 160 bucks. Now you can do whatever you want, whether you want to run foundation or not. I run some of this plastic foundation in some of my frames. I don't know. I'm a little on the fence about either way right now, which is better, foundationless or foundation. I do really like how sturdy this foundation is, and I usually sort of checkerboard is what they say, where I kind of skip one in the middle. So I'll have like a frame of foundation and then an empty frame with no foundation and then a frame of foundation. And that tends to keep the middle one that doesn't have any foundation on it, that they build it pretty straight. If you just do 3 frames of foundationless, then with no foundation at all, then they will tend to build them a little wobbly, sort of. And that's not, it just makes management difficult. So I don't think you need foundation for every frame necessarily, but I think that having some is a good idea. So I put in 20 of each of these. That should give you enough for a little over half of all the frames that you're using at any given time. Each one of these is, the deeps are $1.75, the mediums are $1.55 each. So 31 and $35 respectively. Now, if you were going to use waxed foundation and not this plastic stuff, it's only like 10 or 15 cents cheaper. And then you've got to get rid of it after the end of the, they build on top of it and the wax blends together. This stuff you can scrape off and reuse and reuse and reuse and reuse. So people even recoat this with wax after the first use. And then you need a smoker, right? So Dadent's tall smoker, the 10-inch one, is just under $50. Their shorter one, I think it's like 6 inches maybe, or 8 inches or something, is like $40. So I think it's probably better to spring the extra few bucks and get the bigger one, rather than having to relight your smoker twice as often. So anyway, that's kind of my general, all the stuff that you might need to purchase from somebody, from a supplier, if you weren't going to make some of this stuff on your own. And so you can see, for 2 hives, right, a little under $750, $729.50. That doesn't include bees, obviously. You're going to get a couple nukes, $150, $200 per nuke, probably, unless you're going to get packages. Then packages are typically $100 to $150 each. Yeah, I don't know what else I got, man. I think that kind of sums it up. Good little summary of sort of entry-level price stuff. This also does not cover honey extracting equipment. So if you're going to get honey extracting stuff, and here we can go over to tools, honey harvesting, honey processing. So there's uncapping equipment, right, where you can get let's see, this some capping scratcher kind of stuff, or let's see if they have a heated knife, right? There you go, heated knife, $150, right? Those are pretty slick. Then there's all kinds of totes and tubs and things you can get. If you want to get into spinning your actual cappings out, which I don't do, I just kind of leave them out, I think. And then extractors are a whole other deal. Let's see what they have to offer here. So they've got some, 2-frame extractors starting at $400, hand powered, right? So or you can get a 32-frame extractor. Look at that, $5,000. Wow. So you can always crush and drain, strain it through a paint strainer or something, your honey when it comes time. But then the bees do have to rebuild that comb that you destroy. So there's pros and cons. We can talk about that. But sort of entry-level stuff is that, what I said, about the $750 plus or minus. Now, again, if you were going to build some of these boxes yourself, which is something that I do, I know plywood is pretty expensive right now, but that could be something that could offset price and make it a little cheaper. So I got nothing else, I don't think. Let me know if you got any questions. All right, bye.